Right, then we will have the presentations by Sultaman Sibiaditan. Once Tanishwar comes back, we'll have his presentation too. So, Aswathaman, your unfinished business. Are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, sir. So once again, sir, like it's echoing, sir. So
Sibiaditan,
shall
do
I
you have
start,
any?
sir?
Yeah, one second. Sibiaditan, do you have any presentation? Sibiaditan. Okay, Aswathaman, you start.
Okay, sir. So warm greetings to one and all present here. My name is Ashwathaman, and now I'd like to present my RLS topic, which is physical fitness. So first of all, what is physical fitness? So it's really important to be fit, as we all know, and being fit is really essential because it makes you active while you do a job in your occupation or something in your home. Because you don't feel tired because you are fit. And when you're not fit, you feel really tired and you couldn't do really things. And it's not only about being physically fit, you'll also have to be mentally fit so that you could really be physically fit too, because our body works with our mind only. So next is the importance of physical fitness. So as I said, it's really important to be fit so that we can be active all the time. So next important is that you at least need to be a bit you need to pick up a sports to in case to be healthy, which yeah, when you're fit, it means that you're really healthy. Not only about being energetic, but also how you could live for long. And there are also many benefits of being physically fit and ways to develop our body. So the main thing on physical fitness is body development. So everything surrounding us actually develops the year, the time, and that includes our own body. Day by day, year by year, we actually age. So ways to develop our body is first be mentally fit. If you're really stressed, find ways to not get stressed and get yourself relief from the stress. And if you have any other mental traumas, you'll first you will have to avoid them. You'll have to stop them so that it'll be easy to get physically fit. And when you're really unfit mentally, you feel lazy, you feel really tired, you feel really painful, and feelings like that actually occur. So first thing to develop our body is not to be mentally unfit. Next is to control your diet. Yeah, there are many junk foods like pizzas and burgers and chocolates, too much of sugars. And you'll also really, if you have seen the food pyramid, it clearly mentions how you'll have to control your diet. Speaking of the grid, I'll say all your diets. So first thing, you should not take too much of junk food or too much of sugar. And you can occasionally eat pizzas and burgers, but you should not too often eat it. And it's really bad when you take them real often and you don't have a balanced diet. You'll have to schedule your time, when you'll have to eat non-veg, when you should eat veg, and at the night times you should avoid eating non-veg. So, and this is how you can tweak your diet. And you'll also have to at least do exercise 1 hour a day. And you can even start by doing 30 minutes or 15 minutes, and just develop it and just keep going up. And like you can do a flat skipping, football dribbles, and jogging, running, and there keeps more warm-ups like a jumping jack, seal jack, and like these it keeps going on. So at least you'll have to do exercise in the morning or in the evening. And it's not advisable to do push-ups for in our young age itself. So like there are many restriction to do these exercises, because if you do the wrong exercise, be really harmful for our health. So next is that benefits benefits and precautions. So difference between a person physically fit and who's physically not fit. If you see a person who's fit, he can only help others and be healthy. He'll also be energetic and he could do everything real quickly, uh, compared to the person who's not really physically fit. And your immune system will also be good for the one who's physically fit. And like often troubles like gastric troubles, these won't really occur for the one who's fit, because the person who's not really physically fit, the one who takes is doesn't have a balanced diet, will have this problem real often. And the precaution is that, as I said, you'll have, before you do an exercise, you'll have to consult with a trainer, so that you'll not get any side effects, or not get anything bad results of what the exercises you do. And I also made my own full form of athletics, because it's also one of a physical fitness, part of physical fitness. So starting with A, you need a aim. A for aim, because without aim, without a goal, you cannot achieve anything. Next, for T is time allocation. You have to allocate the time, like I said, 15 minutes or 30 minutes, 1 hour for our exercises and other things that you need to achieve your goal. And H is for harvesting. When you, after you do all this hard work, the hard work you put, after harvest them, you have to gain all these things. And then X for L for large steps. So you have to take large steps in your life after getting harvested, so that you'll get to be noticed by other people. And just not to do simple things, try to do as big things as possible. And doing simple things is also good. Like for an example, everyone makes 100. So, and E for eagle eyes. Once you take the large steps, one everyone noticed you, you'll have to have eagle eyes for any opportunities that you get. And T is tweaking the problems. After you get these opportunities, you might lose, or you could notice some opportunities that you couldn't really get, because you'll have to realize what are your gray areas, and you'll have to start working on them. And I is for identification. Identify your true potential after you worked on your gray areas, every hard work you have put, and place an identification for others, so that they are able to see you. And C is earning. So result of your effort, you get this appreciation, the benefits, and the satisfaction of reaching your goal. And at last, S, success. So this is the full form that I have created for my own for athletics. So thank you friends for giving me this opportunity and hope you enjoyed.
Well done, Ashwathaman.
Thank you, Na. Thank you, Na.
All right, well done, Aswathaman. So,
Thank you, sir.
does anyone have any questions on this presentation?
So I have one.
Yes, Dakshin and then Tanishwar. Dakshin.
So first of all, that was a good presentation, Ashwathaman. So I wanted to ask you, what kind of physical activities do you like?
Yes, Na. Thank you, Na. So you mean like the sports I like, Na?
No, physical activities, any form of physical activity.
Uh, okay, Na. So in the field of sports, I like football, Na. And other places, I like the things like where I get to train my own arms and to get faster, Na. Especially for my feet and legs, Na. So the places where I really want to concentrate on my physical fitness area.
Okay, now, Tanishwar, your question. Tanishwar, your question.
Well, oh, sir, I had to fix something. Okay, so first of all, that was a good presentation. And my question is, how long have you been doing these and how often do you do them?
So thank you so much, Anna, first of all. And I've been doing this like I started doing exercises for around 2 years because before that I don't really know about these exercises, and I often go out to play, and especially the school because it has a really very much physical activities and all these things. So like I really as I don't consistently do one type of exercise because like a situation creates like that. First I actually started with skipping, and then I gone with flat and then sit-ups, and before I came to sir classes I was doing push-ups, and after some time I realized with sir's help it's not advisable for me, and I also do pull-ups too. I'm now I stop them. I'm now just do skipping and cycling.
Okay, Ashwathaman.
Okay, so it was a good part to listen to you when you had an acronym designed for fitness. It was pretty impressive. I really appreciate that from the creative standpoint. My
Thank you,
question
sir.
is, yeah, and my question is, besides knowing about fitness, besides knowing about the benefits of fitness, one could rejoice by being consistent on it. Why do you think people are not consistent? Early morning they wake up and they should have the proper drive and motivation for getting into the fitness regime. And it has become increasingly difficult these days, specifically in these testing times that we are living in, while we are hit with the pandemic. The entire world is hit with the pandemic after several years, and every single day is a turmoil for every single person, irrespective of the age, irrespective of the occupation the person is belonging to. A person, once he gets up, he finds it or she finds it very tough to get the motivation, because the person thinks that, okay, fine, I might be working out this morning, but this evening I might be finding myself ill. I might have contracted with the coronavirus disease. Then what's the point in working out? So this kind of a mindset has set in. This evil mindset has set in most of the people. Um, take for example, hitting the gym. So now, this being a lockdown, I'm not able to hit my gym. So that is also another problem which pulls people back from being fitness oriented. So how do you think a person should get rid of all this? And besides all these arts, how do you think a person can maintain the fitness motivation and the consistency with regard to that?
So, like, you're asking me how to get these people to know about all this fitness things, sir.
No, I'm asking how the consistency can be maintained besides the regular demotivating factors that people are experiencing.
Yes, sir. So, first thing they'll have to do is that they'll have to stop thinking about all these negative things, sir, and start thinking about the positive things. And they'll have to try to do as much as exercise they can, and have to try gaining all this good news, sir. Like when you read books, you get motivated, sir, and you'll have to gain all these good factors, and it'll be really helpful for you to do something routine that you was doing before this pandemic, sir.
Great. Right. Anyways,
Sir,
it was a good presentation. I appreciate you for that. So,
thank you, sir. So if you could allow me, shall I just leave and join, sir?
yeah.
My voice is actually echoing, sir.
Okay. Now the next on board is Tanishwar's presentation. It's the routine presentation that Tanishwar has to make. Yesterday we did not have time. Now, Tanishwar, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're ready.
Okay.
So I just did some adjustment in my mics. So thank you, sir. Now it's working.
It's not working.
What is not working?
I put it in presenter mode and then it doesn't let me switch to any other. It doesn't let me switch to Skype.
We'll wait. You leave and join and redo the process. Right. The screen is visible now.
Okay.
Hold the ozone layer.
Wait. This week I did my presentation on the hole in the ozone layer. So what is the ozone layer? The ozone layer is part of the stratosphere, and which is part of the Earth's atmosphere, and it absorbs most of the Earth's ultraviolet radiation. As you can see in the image, uh, ultraviolet C is gone, and then ultraviolet B is very small, and A is shrunk a little bit. So, and it's part of the reason why Earth is like a safe place for us. and safe place for us to live. And the ozone layer has like a lot of ozone in it, and then I think it's O3 just didn't show up. And then it's a very essential part in our planet. And 36 years ago, a researcher named Jonathan Shanklin discovered there was a hole in the ozone layer in the south pole of Antarctica, and 40% of the whole layer was a hole. And the hole was there every spring season, and it grew yearly. So what if there was no atmosphere on Earth? So if there was no atmosphere on Earth, one, it would be really cold, and two, there would be the sun would not be blocked out, like the sun's rays would not be blocked out. So, so like it's gonna be cold, and then it's gonna be really cold, and then it's gonna be really hot. But the thing is, if even with like an atmosphere, humans can get sunburns, which can lead to like skin cancer and other bad things. And without any protection, you can like get burned to a crisp. Your lungs, they'll be sucked in, and then you won't be able to breathe. And this is also the reason that astronauts have to wear a suit in space. It protects them against the sun, and it's deadly to be in contact with the sun. And then on the left, that's what the Earth looks like without an atmosphere, and then on the right is just an astronaut. So what does the hole do? So as stated before, it blocks out most of all radiation from the sun, and 70% of the Earth is water, which means the land is smaller than the whole of the ozone layer, because the ozone layer has 40% of a hole. So technically it could fit in there, but it's only at the South Pole. But when radiation is let into the earth, it can destroy ecosystems and organisms, including humans. The whole event, it would be catastrophic, and then it would wipe out all living things, and making it uninhabitable, and we won't even be able to live on it. And if it grew yearly, how did we prevent it from happening? So there's a substance called chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, and these were highly used back in like the 80s and 90s for like aerosol and perfume. And if you spray them, the particles ended up in the ozone. And the reason that this is bad is the molecule, it binds with other molecules in the ozone, and it screws up what's happening there. So if there's a lot of in the ozone layer, there's a lot of ozone, but then if there's another like molecule going there, it could screw up, and then it turned them into chlorine and chlorine monoxide, and this caused a chain reaction, and there was no ozone there. So this was a problem at hand. Many people had to test many things, because this was a global issue, and everything could have been bad. But when they all tested all these things, they all ended up with one conclusion, and CFCs were the reason this was happening. And it was announced, and it was discovered, and everyone knew about it. So yeah, and there were also like there were also many predictions that the depletions in the ozone would get larger and larger as time went on, and this was a global threat, and it affected everybody. Okay, so here are some actions that were being made. So many press conferences were held to address the ongoing crisis. and countries gathered together at several delegations in the United Nations, and they ended up with a protocol known as the Montreal Protocol, and it it was that countries offered to help developing countries with alternate technology and substituting products instead of CFC and other harmful chemicals to the ozone layer. And the Montreal Protocol is the only treaty that was signed by every one of the UN delegates and making it ratified, and it was the most successful environmental agreement. And then this is the conclusion. So CFC producers stopped creating CFC, and and the depletion of ozone layer plummeted. So after almost 30 years, it stopped growing and it's shrinking. And this week, I mean, it wasn't this week, I wrote this last week, but last week it completely closed up and there's no more radiation and it blocks out all the ultraviolet radiation like it used to. That's my presentation.
All right.
Well done,
Well
Tanisha.
done, Tanisha. Good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Floor is set for the questions, if you have any. Action.
Well done, Tanisha. That was a good presentation. And I have a question purely an opinion based question. So according to you, in how many years do you think we'll be able to replace all the CFC products and find the correct alternatives?
I think CFC's already been like stopped. They already stopped using CFCs because they stopped creating it, so nothing would
No, like
happen.
across the world, like I'm talking on a global scale. Still, there are places where they use CFCs in fridges and ACs. So
I mean, maybe in some poor countries.
yeah, so when do you think we'll be able to get the technology to them and make them stop doing that?
We'll probably need like developed countries to go do it for them. But I think it's already been done at this point because the protocol was created like 30 years ago. So they probably already did it back then.
Okay, so in addition to that, there is one more question that I would like to ask you. Like, researchers say that more than the ozone layer effect in the scientific labs that the world has seen, the environmental crisis, the biggest contributor towards global warming, the industrial air conditioning environments and the infrastructural advancements have added to the ozone layer damage. That's what they have said. Like, if you take the collective pollution of the industry, if you take the collective infrastructural emittance of the industries in one particular nation alone, okay, let's take a collection of about 20 nations, 20 countries, and the emittance, they say that emittance meter, the emittance of the industrial advancements. It involves many things, the factory outlets and the manufacturing process, the machineries emittance, and the air conditioner emittance, and all that put together, it causes a lot of pollution and it adds up to the ozone layer damage. How do you think a common unified levels of group of citizens, or how do you think a common man can contribute towards this in order to bring this level down?
First you could so when factories are emitting like carbon dioxide, it increases global warming, so they could just plant more trees to combat that. And for the ozone, like if if people know that if a product's like harmful to use, they don't need to use it, and they could like set up like a group or something and do it that way.
Right. Fine. So one more question and the last question. So when do you think this will come to a seizure? That is, do you really think it can see its own end? Damage, I mean. Do you really think, or do you foresee any end for this particular problem?
Can you repeat that? Your voice cut out, sir.
The big environmental threat that we are facing because of ozone layer problem. Do we have an end to it? That's my question.
No, it completely closed up last week. The hole is gone now.
I see. Okay. Right. Any case. Okay, so that's a good presentation, Tanishwar. I really appreciate your tendency of picking up good amount of topics for the presentation. Very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so and Tanishwar, you mentioned about the gym workouts. So you talk about it so that I can add it up in your series.
Yeah, after my school ends, my school has a gym in it, so I go there for like I do like a workout there for 1 hour each day.
I see. So how long have you been doing this?
Since last week on Monday.
Right. So there is an OBT column in the CRS. I will make sure that it is added as a week's OBT. That is, if you had worked for 1 week, it will be added as a week's outbound training score. So that in that way, it will be added in your CRS.
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay. So where is this as coming from? It is sending a message. Okay. Sibi Adityan, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You said yesterday in the direct form you had a presentation. What presentation do you have?
How to help others? What presentation is that?
I'm not hearing your voice properly. Keep the mic closer to your mouth. It's muffled.
Okay, sir.
What is it? Repeat.
How to help others, sir?
That should do answer what you say. Okay. Okay, Dakshin, has Aswathaman sent any message in the WhatsApp about his absence or something? He left abruptly.
Sir, my phone doesn't have charge, so it's getting charged up. I don't know, sir.
That's okay. Okay, Sibi Adityan, if you can speak about the topic, you can speak now. How to help others.
Sir, first I can do help while someone is crossing the road, like all people. The car is coming fast. We should run and save the people in a proper way. We not say then they will accident, then they will go to hospital. That risk we don't want, so we are saving them. Then when I'm helping my mom and gold peoples and giving the dresses and books for reading. For reading, not having books and address people. so they can improve their knowledge, and I will teach them. Next, I will help my mom in cooking, and I'll help my father in my way. Then I will do the works and works of the works like some coconut was fell down. I will take and keep and I will help them. I will give the some some persons are in the headache. We should do the medical treatments for them. The doctor says that give the hot water, then we should run and take the water, and we keep the sound. It make us hot. We come and give them. That like we help. That like we helping me. We will get the pleasure of them. Then we will feel very happy and we will get the blessing of them. Thank you, sir.
Okay, nice, good presentation, and that's very enlightening. When the coconut falls down, taking the coconut and giving it to the person, it's a real big help. It is, we can't describe how much big help it is. Good job, Sibiaita.
Good job, sir.
Very well done,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, right. Okay, we have come to the end of the presentation sequences. I mean, today Alvin was about to make a presentation, and I have sent the link, but he hasn't joined. So we are making a turnaround from this week onwards. Taneshwar Siddharth and Dakshin Siddharth will be attending weekend classes. Dakshin will be present on Wednesday. His schedule is like Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, of which coming Wednesday he will be attending in direct form, I believe. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday he will be attending online form. That's what his mom mentioned this morning. And Aswathaman is going on a break from tomorrow for his examination preparation. Taneshwar and Siddharth will continue attending Saturday and Sunday alone. Now, the point is, from coming week onwards, I am planning to focus on Yalvendam, Mitra. Those are the only two members who are going to attend MSES sessions, and Sibi will be attending online. So I'm focusing on Yalvendam, Mitra, and Sibi. So tomorrow we will not be holding at the class. Tuesday we will have a session for Yalvendam, Mitra, and Sibi, and Wednesday. Dakshin, you can join Wednesday, or otherwise you can join for the weekend class, because Wednesday, if you're joining, again, you're going to join these two kids in Mitra, that is Yalvendram Subiyajitan and Mitra. If you're joining on Friday, again, that's going to be the case, because for the entire month of January, from tomorrow onwards, only these three are going to be in the roster. Yalvendram, Sibi, and Mitra, and you. And during the weekend, we will have Siddharth and Taneshwar. So you can plan accordingly, and you can let me know how you are going to make use of in sessions.
Okay.
Yeah, you just let me know. So, yeah, so
So nothing, sir.
So he joins or he rejoins in the month of February. I leave it up to him. I don't know when he is going to be rejoining. But, when are we rejoining?
Yes, sir. February, sir.
February, right, okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's how it's going to be. So now with the rest of the time, so we still, we have about 30 minutes in the session. So I don't want to waste the time. So you four have to prepare a solution set. I have 3 counseling insights now for the upcoming week. One is in my family, and the other 2 are my clients. So one is a school. A school is looking for a contract, and that school says we are having a problem amongst the higher secondary students, specifically people of Dakshin Siddharth's age, 11th and 12th. The correspondent happens to be my brother's friend. He spoke to me 5 days back, and he said, after Pongal holidays, I might be calling you. We need some interventions from your side, he said. But then this lockdown has come. I don't know, he is still holding up the plan or not. But I'm curious to know these solutions from people like you. Sibyadithan, 5th grader, Sutaman, a 7th grader, Taneshwar, a 9th grader, and Dakshin Siddharth, an 11th grader. So I want this heterogeneous idea. That man says the 11th and 12th grade students are scared of the new syllabus. And because of the kind of fright that these people have in their syllabus, 3 girls have tried to elope from the school. They wanted to run away from the school. And he came up with one more complaint that almost about 7 boys, out of the 7 boys, 2 or 3 had in turn had suicidal thoughts, and they wanted to kill themselves. They wanted to commit suicide. So he was asking me if I have any intervention for getting students out of these kinds of thoughts. Now, if in a hypothetical situation, Dakshin Siddharth, Yalvendan, Aswathaman, and Sibi Adityan are my employees in my consultancy. Let's say, for example, hypothetically speaking, you're all employees of Youth Corp Training Solutions, and I'm deploying you 4 towards that school. Specifically, I'm deploying to meet those 10 adolescent people, 7 boys and those 3 girls. 3 girls for a different reason, and 7 boys for a different reason. What kind of solution you would like to give for them? So this is problem number 1.
So because of the news, sir.
Because of the?
So they're frightened because of these news on COVID,
No.
sir.
No. New syllabus. Their academic syllabus becoming
Okay,
a
sir.
yeah. So that's the primary reason. Yeah, they have other multiple reasons, but the primary reason is the syllabus being so very tough. So I have 3 cases like this. I have explained case number 1, and case number 2 is a teenage boy again. He is 17 years of age, and he comes with a problematic situation that, from 7 o'clock to 9:30 in the morning, the first 2.5 hours of my day, I'm having a kind of a bizarre stream of thoughts. I think that I don't belong here, and I should not be present here, and I'm a burden to my family. Specifically, in the first 2.5 hours of the day, I feel that my family doesn't need me, and my family doesn't own me. And if I go away, my mom and dad are going to be very, very satisfied, and they are going to be very peaceful in my absence. And my younger sister will be very peaceful, because I'm not cutting a good figure of being a good elder brother for her, and I'm not carrying myself properly as a son to my mom and dad. So it's better I'm not existing here. I'd like to go away somewhere. And I have this dominating thoughts for the first 2.5 hours. And then I ask him, what's happening after 9:30? What do you mean to say that after 9:30 you are getting this thought settling down? He says, no, I'm getting busy. The online classes start at 9:30. And if it is school, and if I have to go to school, I go to school at 9:30. And I get busy with that. And some way or other, My mind does not think on those lines. So help me. So this is the second case. Third case is the simplest case, but yet a very dangerous case, is the fear of future. Now, this boy says, you see, I can clear the papers. I can get the good marks. My father is expecting me to score in a certain way, and my mother is expecting me to score in a certain way. I can satisfy both of them by getting the necessary marks. But the problem is, I really don't know if I would amount to anything. Like future, now I'm in the 12th grade, and in the future, after finishing my college education, me going to a job and living a 9 to 5 occupational schedule of work, and me earning money and giving to my parents, all these are appearing completely impossible for me. Will I be fitting in that life? Me going for a job, me working under a boss, me earning money? Oh, come on, that's a bunch of a joke. I'm not worthy of all that. But I can pass the subjects. I can clear things in school. I can clear things in college, but this is something that I don't even think would happen. So what's your solution for these people? First, from the school, 10 boys. The 7 boys and 3 girls. Second, this guy, this high secondary guy, who is thinking that he's a burden for his family. Third, well, he doesn't consider himself as a burden of the family, but he is not able to digest that he will be an occupation material. He will be a professional material in the future. He doesn't even want to foresee himself doing this stuff. Help these people. Have a 5-10 minutes discussion and help these people. Any questions?
No, sir.
So
No, sir.
now, yeah, all right. So in that case, the time is 5:56. We started at 5 o'clock. I mean, as you could see the recording number, it's about 48 minutes elapsed in the session. So it's 5:56. When can I expect you to give me the answers for these questions, the solutions? How much time do you need for team talk? Taneshwar, Dakshina, Sutaman, how much time for team talk?
Like 20 minutes, sir.
20 minutes, okay. All right. So then I'll be watching the chat. Let me know when you need my questions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me stop the record.